What it do? It's your girl Zen with another episode of ClosedWon. And today we are going to cover the 3 tips that'll help an SMB close deals within 2 weeks. Enjoy. What are 3 tips you would give an SMB rep in order to close those transactional deals in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think the first is figure out if their interest in your product is exploratory versus there's a real initiative in place for their job, right? Like at the end of the day, we all have a job to do that probably is a laundry list of 10 to 20 tactile activities that need to be done. And if we're not one of them, we're kind of just wasting their time and wasting ours. So how do we get on that list? Ideally, we're already on it, right? Ideally, we can correlate what we're selling to one of their laundry list items. And so there's a number of ways to do this, either just by doing some research online, looking at a company's 10K or something to see what are their actual initiatives in place at a corporate level, or obviously the personal level, just calling them and saying, hey, like, what's your job? Like, what are you working on? And then seeing if somehow we can marry our service or a product to what they're actually doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once they have figured out that, okay, this is an initiative, I was hired to find another software to increase our closing ratio, and it's the document flow that's our bottleneck. What's another tip that you could give an SMB guy? So
Cool.
identify.
Well, yeah, and then qualify the heck out of that initiative, right? So if you think there's initiative in place, okay, what is the initiative? What's the deadline? What's your role? Who else is involved? What's the overall project? Maybe the projects around sales efficiencies, right? So how can we tie into that? What other applications are you evaluating? You need to do like a deeper level of like company qualification, I would say. Versus like product discovery and product qualification. I think we're quick to try to jump into the app and show how it works and what it does without really digging a level deeper into who we're talking to. That way, once we get all that really deep information, then when we do finally, give them a product demo or get them to think about us, we can hit them at every level really deeply, right?
Yeah. So, and there's a lot of qualifying
it's
blogs out there. There's bands and
and that's actually one of my guiding principles. Is not really to think of it as qualifying, but to actually operate on a disqualifying principle, right? So
that's
the most important thing that I was taught, I think, in my enterprise sales training was just disqualify. At the end of these sales cycles, when you win them, we know going back in time that it takes hundreds of emails, tens of calls, tens of 20s of screen shares to get to a big deal. I can't afford to do that for every single customer. There's only, let's assume a 40-hour work week, so much time in the year, right? Like, so we really have to disqualify those who do not have initiatives in place. If they're exploratory, get them out of there and be like, you know what, man, you got to go create an initiative if you want to talk to me.
Okay. So with the SMB, and one of the lines that I've learned from Richard Harris that I kind of want to drop on this video is telling the other person, hey, listen, let's agree or commit by the end of this call that in 2 weeks, you will make a decision. It's either a yes, you will move forward with us, or no, you won't. And by just saying that one sentence, and if they say yes, then you have a clear timeline to make a decision. So that's one of the things that I want to share with new AEs out there. Make sure you're saying that at the beginning of your call.
Yeah, I think that's just like a really strong way of, setting the expectation that like, for us on our side, because you never know what they expect on their side. And without setting a firm expectation, as we know, like they'll eke out like a year-long trial from you, right? Or every single resource they can before making that financial decision. So I think certainly on the SMB side where, your transactions are less than 10K or something. Then you got to let them know like, hey man, like this is a, less than 10K decision for you. This is the values we provide. It's going to be 2 weeks. This is my process. You cool with that? In and out. And I think that usually helps them, you know, give them clear buying criteria too, because sometimes they need that to help operate.